Hello, my name is Rocky Hensley, and my research topic was Insects as Food, Exploring Cultural Exposure and Individual Experience as Determinants of Acceptance. The journal is published in is Elsevier. The year it was published is 2015, and one of the main topics was how unfamiliar food choices are accepted and rejected by people who are not yet exposed to the idea of them. It was conducted to see the psychological aspects of how to possibly introduce strange new foods into culture in a way in which they will be accepted and want to be consumed. So the methods and how they went about this. Focus group interviews were used to obtain the data that was required. They used an explorative, qualitative research method so they could identify what makes a consumer see a food how they do. The who. People used in the study were multiple groups, 4 to 10 people that were not randomly selected from a population. They used groups because that gave them more of a chance to share ideas. There were 8 focus groups in total, 4 in Wageningen, Netherlands, where bugs are consumed as more of a party or a novelty food, so they were not consumed regularly. It's just like, I can't remember the specific context that they were consumed, but it was not regularly. It was more of a, here we have these, here, try them, let's eat these as a fun way. It's kind of a novelty food, and not every day. Then there were four were in the town of Sakon Nakhon, Thailand, where insects are eaten and seen as a regular food item. So you'd walk down the street and you could just buy a bag of insects and eat them as a snack. So the data that was gathered were the focus groups, 4 to 10 people, and the way that it was collected, they used what seemed to be a chi-square test due to them looking at different categorical values from the samples that they obtained. So which bugs would you eat is basically how they did it. There was a graph of 8 bugs, and they said, would you eat these bugs? And that's how they obtained their data. The results. The 2 main ideas they got were the Dutch participants were more excited to try new foods, possibly as their views on the insects were special in nature, whereas the Thai participants were not open to trying new foods that they deemed as weird, maybe for the same reason as they had set dietary values. So the Dutch people saw them more as like, this is just something that we can consume specially, but we're open to trying them more out because we don't, have any set standards about them. So let's try it. Let's see. Let's eat this grasshopper. Let's eat the centipede. Trying different things. And the Thai people who ate the same bugs every day as a regular diet, they may have seen a different bug and was like, no, we only eat these kind of bugs. This is what we're comfortable with. This is what we're going to stick with. So that's maybe the difference that they had. Also, the Dutch exposure to what kind of bugs could be prepared was much less than those of the Thai eaters, as they had been exposed for their whole lives from friends and family. By that, the Thai people had been eating them forever. As whenever they were kids, that was a snack that they ate. And the Dutch people, let's go to this festival, they have bugs there, let's try them. The discussion. The most important finding was that culture with slight bits of knowledge on the subject were more open than a culture that was not. It was almost as if they had a small taste of weird and figured it was not bad to go further, but the culture where they had already set standards were not open to trying new foods outside of it. Even though we as Americans may look at you're eating grasshoppers, that's weird. The people there might have seen our hamburgers and been like, you're eating ground up beef, that's weird. But I actually don't know that, but that was just an example I had. The conclusion. The researchers concluded that individual preferences were made due to exposure to cross-cultural foods and how they are prepared. And the individuals saw the kinds of bugs differently due to their knowledge of them and made assumptions based on that predisposed knowledge. I believe this is a great thing to research. For me, I think insects would not be a bad alternative to consume due to me, at least, thinking of it just like a land lobster. That was an old perception about crustaceans, was that they were a disgusting bug that you did not want to eat. But what's the difference? It's just the same thing, just on the land. And also having a high prevalence of protein, making them an easy snack, as I am a lifter, so it's easy, eat a few bugs, it fills your protein. For the class in the world, I think making foods like this more available could help lots of people who may be protein deficient, and since bugs multiply and breed at rapid rates, it would make them very easy to help them get. We think of animals as easy to breed. Think about bugs. You see one and then you see 1,000, and that's an easy way to collect them. There's easy ways to farm them, and it would be a great way to help people who need who are possibly dealing with food insecurity. So thank you, and that is all.